Hi everyone, Chillax here and welcome back to another Anchor Panic video. So I'm currently on the test server where version 2.3 is now live. This update will arrive on the global server in about 2 to 3 days on May 6th. I want to give a huge shout out to the Anchor Panic global dev team for giving me early access. That way I can give you a first look as to what to expect for this update when you guys get access to it. We will go over everything you need to know about Morpho, the brand new Lightning Stun operator, who will be available for summoning for the next 3 weeks as a Rate Up hero. And we will go over the different skins that come with this update as well as the other like game modes and whatnot. And at the end of this video, I have a special treat for you because I did receive a care package in the mail from the dev team. So thank you so much for that. And here's a preview of the Frost Jade box. I will magnify my camera when I show you the swag that I received in the mail at the end of this video. But without further ado, let's begin. In case I didn't say this already, everything that I show before you is subject to change, so please keep that in mind. Okay, so Morpho is the brand new Lightning Stun operator who will be available for the next 3 weeks. She specializes in summoning up to 3 orbs in random spots. Like, you know how there's 12 squares where operators can be placed, and your operators are placed on 5 of those squares. The orbs will randomly appear on an empty tile, if you will, and do AoE damage at the end of each round. And when you get enough electro stacks, these orbs will change from blue to bright yellow and be able to start potentially stunning surrounding enemies at the end of each round. And unlike Lang Jiao, who is able to freeze multiple targets every other turn, Morpho is potentially able to stun enemies every turn if you have good enough RNG and if you have enough effect hit rate. So we will go over that. But yeah, that's Morpho in a nutshell. She also does a good amount of damage, AoE damage, and is also able to lower lightning resistance, which gives her some viability in PvE content. And she is not a limited time operator, which means that if you are a free-to-play player who spent all your Rate Up tickets on Morpho or are saving your tickets for an upcoming limited time operator such as Yun Juan, the physical defender, or Zephrine, the quantum breaker, or White Rose, the quantum stun operator, who at least two of them are must pulls, Zephrine and White Rose, then I think it makes a lot of sense to skip Morpho if you're free to play and just potentially fail the pity for her as well as her signature Sigil in the future. They will be added to the pity pool for you to fail the pity to. But if you are a low spender or whale who wants to support the game, then I think Morpho will be a valuable addition to your account thanks to her viability in PvP as well as her potential in PvE, which I will test out later when she goes live on the global server. In addition to her Rate Up banner, which will be available for 3 weeks, there will be 3 rerun operators, the first week of which will be Thunderrock, who is a lightning defender. At this point in time, we have a couple great defenders like Luna, but Thunderrock is a decent defender and the only lightning defender currently in the game. So, you know, if you want to have a solid mono lightning team on your advanced arena team and don't have Thunderrock already, then I think Thunderrock could be a decent pickup if you are a low spender and want, or maybe a new player who wants to round out your lightning team. Yeah, so she will be available for the first week. I don't know yet who the next 2 reruns will be. Once I find out, I will include it in the comment section below. Yeah, so that's about it in terms of the operators. Now, this is the skin, one of the skins for Morpho. Really spicy skin for very spicy waifu, as you can see before you. I'll go ahead, as per tradition, hide my camera. That way you guys can enjoy the cutscenes here.
あまりせかさないでください。もうあなたに捕まえられたから、私逃げませんので。このほどき方を教えてほしいと？リンカーさんの眼差しは怖いです。まるで私を丸ごと飲み込んでしまおうとするかのようで。大丈夫です。実は少しだけそういうの好きなんです。電気を消していただけますか、リンカーさん。窓の外の月明かりがあなたの影を長く伸ばして私をすっぽりと覆い隠してくれるんです。あなたに覆われるこの感覚が好きなんです。とても安心します。
Yeah, so you're welcome. And this is going to be the Battle Pass skin for Morpho. I think it's my favorite Morpho skin. And here's the 2D model, respectfully looking. Holy smokes. Yeah, very spicy skin for very spicy waifu. Quiet Midnight. And respectfully looking. And you can change the stockings as per usual as well. And then here's the illustration, the static version, and then here is the dynamic version of this skin. So if you decide to support the game, this is a Battle Pass skin that you can pick up. There is another skin that you can purchase if you want your Morpho to look a little bit different, and it is this one right here. Here's kind of the entry animation. I like this skin a lot. And then here is the other skin that you're able to purchase if you decide to support the game. And let me see if I can respectfully look. Yep. So this is the alternate version. She is a fairy. And here is the static version of this artwork. It's called Clumsy Maid, and here is the dynamic version, respectfully looking. Holy smokes. Yeah, very nice. And the model does come with an alternate stockings as well. Yeah, so that's what that looks like if you like that. Okay, and are there any more skins? I don't think so, that I'm aware. They might release another skin besides what's currently in the test server. So now let's go over what Morpho does. So Morpho is a lightning stun operator who is focus opposite, so that's better targeting. And yeah, so her kit, her talent 1, at the start of each round, randomly generates one static ball that's invincible, occupies an empty tile, inherits 37.5% of Morpho's offensive stats. So as you can imagine, when you have 3 static balls on the map, her damage does ramp up, and her AoE damage outside of these orbs is quite a bit as well. Yeah, so lasting 2 turns, maximum 3 balls. Enemy units within the 3x3 area of static balls have speed reduced by 4% times the number of electro stacks. Electro stacks was what I was telling you guys earlier, is what you need to evolve the lightning orbs into like flash lightning, something like that, in order to start stunning the enemies. But as you're stacking up those electrode stacks, you're also slowing down the enemies within its 3x3 radius. It is non-stacking, only the highest value applies. At the end of each turn, static balls discharge to all enemies, dealing lightning damage equal to 30% of the ball's attack times the number of electro stacks. It can crit and receive damage bonuses. When Morpho acts, provides 1 stack of electrode to the static balls. Each ball can store up to 4 stacks of electrodes. Now for her talent 2, this is talking about its evolution now. Static ball duration plus 1 turn. So the static balls can last for 2 turns or 3 turns. I haven't paid attention. When a static ball reaches max electrode stacks, it evolves into a lightning ball. Upon discharge, has a 6.5% times the number of lightning balls chance to inflict paralysis on the targets, in which so this paralysis is a unique debuff that enemies cannot act, and their damage reduction is decreased by 7.5%. So if the enemy has like a defender who is like Thunderrock, for example, who's reducing the damage applied to the enemies, then you will reduce that and do more of the damage you usually do. Only judged once. Max paralyzed targets less than or equal to the number of lightning balls. So I kind of don't really like this. So you can paralyze up to 3 enemies. But I think the reason why they did this is because with the right RNG, you could potentially paralyze the same enemies back to back to back. As opposed to Lang Jiao, who freezes every other turn, lasting until the end of the next turn. Yeah, so this is kind of a big deal, because if you have a very fast Morpho and say you trigger the paralysis, which can be done one of 2 ways. You either wait until the end of turn, where any lightning orbs that have evolved, lightning balls, at the end of turn, when they discharge, you have a chance to inflict paralysis. However, the energy burst, if I was to skip to it, allows you to immediately discharge. So you can potentially paralyze the enemy with your energy burst before the enemies start to act. And remember what I said earlier, it lasts until the end of the next turn. So you could potentially, if you have a very fast Morpho, you can stun them, you can paralyze them, keep them from acting for 2 rounds. Yeah, so that is quite good. However, the way that the game balances this is by making it so that it's kind of mandatory to have the signature Sigil in order to generate the electrode stacks fast enough to start stunning operators on round 2. And if you are going against a very speedy enemy lineup, you might not be able to actually get the stun off on them until round 3, right? Because the enemies will have already moved on round 2. Using Morpho requires a bit of a setup, because you need your Morpho really fast, and you also really need to stack the effect hit rate, because the trigger for the paralysis is quite low. As you can see, 6.5 times the number of lightning balls, you can get up to 3 lightning balls, right? So that's 6.5 times 3. So that's like less than 20% essentially paralysis chance, but you have 3 lightning orbs, so that's technically times 3. However, if you were to go with, say, like a 4-piece model set, precision model set, which gives you 6% effect hit rate, plus an extra potentially 10% effect hit rate, if you cast your skill 4 times, then that can significantly improve your chances of paralyzing multiple enemies. Not to mention, in her Stellaron, I highly recommend that if you are serious about PvP and decide to invest in Morpho, that you first pick up the effect hit rate here. The extra plus 6.3% matters a lot, because it's 6.3% times the number of lightning orbs. Yeah, so I think that with this unlocked, as well as 4 stacks of the effect hit rate from the 4-piece precisions, I think I calculated you can get up to like 55% chance for each of the 3 lightning orbs to paralyze the enemies around it. So still not 100% chance. So if you're someone like me who likes reliability, then I think you guys might prefer Lang Jiao over Morpho. But Morpho has the upside of potentially immobilizing every turn. That's the thing. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, but going back to the signature sigil, it provides base attack, provides crit rate. Now, at base, it will be 10% crit rate because this is max duped. When equipped by Morpho, generates 1 additional static ball on the first turn. So usually you get a static ball every time you act, but with the signature sigil, you essentially start off with an extra static ball, so 2, and then by the start of round 2 you already have 3 static balls and have probably evolved 1 or 2 of them. When using energy skills, she has a 60% chance, or actually at base copy has a 30% chance to provide 2 stacks of electrodes to the static balls, otherwise it will be 1. Yeah, so from her talent, she generates 1 electrode stack, and then with her signature sigil, she can add an additional 1 to 2 electrode stacks. So this matters because you need to have 4 stacks of electrodes for the static balls to evolve into lightning balls to actually start stunning the enemies. And then you do your energy burst to kind of set them off prematurely to hopefully pick up some stuns before the enemy starts to move. Additionally, after releasing the energy burst, she has a 50% chance to refresh the duration of the static balls on the field. Now, at base copy, I believe it's 25%. Let me just double check. And so, as you can see here, even for whales, you can't really guarantee that you will have 100% refresh time on the balls. It's entirely possible for you to have 3 lightning balls on round 2 and then for 1 or 2 of them to disappear on round 3. And then you have to get your static balls back and then get the electrode stacks back onto the static balls to evolve them. So as you can see here, it's really hard to assess the value of Morpho on your account because even at max dupes, there is a bit of RNG with getting the electro stacks to evolve as well as the chance to refresh and the duration of the balls, which matters a lot. So she has high upside, but you could potentially whiff and just not have a good match. Now going back here, when we go into her Ascensions, her Ascension 3, when Morpho receives fatal damage, immediately enters lightning form. HP recovers by 20%, takes no damage for the rest of this turn, replenishes 1 stack of electrodes to static balls. Only triggers once per battle. So this is a way for her to have a built-in cheat death, which matters a lot in PvP, as well as to accelerate the amount of electrode stacks on the static balls. Now, at Ascension 6, this allows you to pretty much evolve all the static balls on the field right away when she picks up a KO, as well as recovering beyond the 50% HP. That way she can energy burst right away as well. So, yeah, that's kind of the consideration there if you are thinking about ascending her. Now, her Stellaron is pretty traditional for a stun operator. I recommend going up and then taking a right, which will allow you to get access to the effect hit rate. And then I would suggest going left to pick up the speed bonus, because speed does matter on her to potentially trigger the lightning orbs before the enemies start to move. And also her signature sigil does not have speed, unfortunately, but this does mean that she ends up doing more damage than the traditional stun operator when you have her signature sigil equipped. Now, in terms of alternate signature sigils, you could consider Argo signature sigil, which provides a speed bonus, which kind of solves her speed issue as well as provide her effect hit rate, which her own signature sigil does not provide. However, you do lose out on the potential extra electrode stacks as well as the static ball refresh, which in my opinion is a little bit too much to give up on. But yes, she does have a decent alternative in the form of Argo's sigil. And then I would recommend speed, crit rate, lightning damage, or speed, crit rate, crit damage, or defense penetration. Any of those offensive buffs. She is a decent damage dealer, so that's the build I would recommend. Now, because effect hit rate is so important for her, so I would recommend 4-piece precision, and then you can either go 2-piece raging wave to solve her speed issue, or to improve her damage a little bit with a 2-piece lightning damage set. And then remodel effects, I go for 6 out of speed, and then the rest into crit rate, crit damage, and then base attack, and then attack. Okay, so now let's go ahead and show you some in-game footage. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle the harder game mode for the final boss here. And hopefully I don't defeat the enemies too quickly. I did do a test run, so I shouldn't do so with just her, Thunder Rock, and just someone to keep everyone alive. So let's go ahead and do a showcase. Okay. So yeah, just Frost Jade moving. So you see that a lightning orb has already appeared, and actually I think there should be. Okay, so there's one right now. Now she moves, so another one should appear. I'm not sure where it is. Oh yeah, there's one right there in the corner there. Yeah, so there's 2 that have spawned randomly. One from her talent, one from her signature sigil. And at the end of this round, the blue orbs will discharge and hit the neighboring enemies. Okay, yeah, the discharge happened. A 3rd lightning orb has appeared, and I think when Morpho... Okay, so one of them has evolved. And then now we're going to trigger... Oh, so we actually have 2 lightning orbs, and the energy burst did discharge, but it doesn't appear that I stunned either of them. So as you can see, even with her Stellaron activated, as well as her 4-piece precision set, she doesn't really get the stun. I don't know if it is a bug, or these guys are resistant to stuns, or if maybe I just got really unlucky. I'm not really sure. Okay. So now we have three of those lightning orbs. Oh, I think I see a little static. I think she should be... Okay, I think... Yeah, she was stunned there. So now we're on round 4. So the stun did work. So if there's a little bit of static around her, I think she's stunned again. Okay, and then we're gonna proc. Okay, no. Okay, I'm not entirely sure, but maybe this boss removed the crowd control. Yeah, it's kind of like the giant robot. Whenever you do X amount of damage, it does that animation and is still able to move. But okay, so that's good. So the static does occur sometimes. Yeah. But I don't think we actually started stunning. Okay, and right now we're getting the lightning orbs back, and we're trying to evolve them. Yes. Okay, so now there's 2. Okay. So hopefully this makes sense. Now, what I'm curious about is, in Entropy Cataclysm, for instance, if you only have a final boss, what happens if the orb spawns in a location where the trigger, right, is outside, like the boss is outside the radius of the lightning orb? I don't know if that could happen, and that would be kind of bad, right? You would have to restart almost the run. So that is pretty much Morpho in a nutshell for you there. I'll go ahead and pause the video for a brief moment to show you the swag I received. Okay, I'm back. So I'm trying not to magnify myself too much. So this is what I received in the mail. It's a Frost Jade stand box, but they actually, I think, opened it, stuffed a whole bunch of other merch in it, and then resealed it. So I received some other swag. I don't know if this will be available for you guys as well, but I one way or the other, I really appreciate them sending this to me. That way I can show you guys. So one swag that I received is this Lilyra keychain, super adorable. And this is kind of what it looks like in the back. Lilyra, once again, very nice material. I'll probably keep it in the wrapper to keep it clean. Here is a Dwalin keychain, as you can see here. And that's the artwork in the back. It's like a chibi Dwalin, super adorable. We have an emote of her in the Anchor Panic Discord channel. Okay, this is really cool. So this is it might be a stand, actually. Yeah, an Echo stand. So this is her skin. I don't know why it says Valdora. That might be her previous name. Yeah, and then, or maybe that's the skin's name or her real name. Yeah, that might be her real name because she is a singer in the game. And so maybe Echo is like her, you know how some singers, they have like a stage name, right? And her stage name is probably Echo. So that's that. And then here is kind of like, maybe like a plaque of our main protagonist, Alicia. Very nice, very nice. And then we have another plaque of Echo. This is what she usually looks like. And this is probably my favorite. This is the Frost Jade stand. Very, very nice. And here's the back. And there is a stand that you can prop her on. I'm not sure if I will open this. Usually, special swag like this, I like to keep in the wrapper. And then finally, here are pins. This is a set of badges. So we have Dawn, we have Yen, we have Tia. I appreciate that they kept the spicier skin of Tia, for those of you guys who know. And then here's Carnissa. This is actually one of her skins as well, where she's riding on the motorcycle. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, Anchor Panic swag does exist. I was hoping for the mouse pad. For those of you guys who don't know, there's a really respectfully looking mouse pad. Yeah. Maybe I'll have one someday. But yeah, that's the swag that I got. So guys, thank you so much for watching and for your support. I will be releasing videos in the future regarding like tier lists and team building. I'll probably start releasing videos again of like updated teams for game modes like Entropy Cataclysm and maybe Union Siege, and like PvP if you're interested. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.